What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to CM Aviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting unboxing for you all. I hope each and one of you are all excited for this today. This is a very exciting box right here if I can get it open. So this actually comes from Custom Scale Airports on Instagram. Very excited for this. They make a bunch of really cool products, and that includes a bunch of 3D printed concourses. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of those. So again, very excited for this. This has certainly been a unboxing that I've been looking very forward to, and a very special one at that. So with that being said, we won't waste any additional time, and I'm going to try to get this off. I didn't end up with a knife here, so it's going to be a little tricky, but I think we are going to manage. So let me go ahead and get them off. So this comes all the way from Australia as their base there. So I just think it's really cool, and it's a great place. So certainly really excited to capitalize on this. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into this, everybody. So again, really exciting box here, and I thank them very much for what they do and their efforts. And with that said, in here, everybody, in this bubble wrap, you're going to see right there are two pieces of Dallas-Fort Worth's Concourse E. So let me just go ahead and start opening this up. It just looks so amazing from the pictures, and I'm really excited to finally get to feature it here on the channel today. So as I take this off here and get this bubble wrap going, you will see what I'm talking about. And again, I'm really excited to have this. I think this will be a really cool piece for DFW when I am able to get it reestablished. So there are all the jet bridges, very excited to have those. And we also have the end over piece right here as well. So looking very sharp. And again, here are the jet bridges. So very happy to see those. And in this one, we are going to see the actual concourse itself. So again, really excited to have this. I think it's gonna look awesome. You all know that I've been using that foam piece for a while now. So it'll look much better, and this is so much more realistic, and overall it's gonna be really cool. So let me just go ahead and get this going here. And here it is, everybody. You can see them numbered, which is real nice. This is DFW's Concourse E satellite. So very excited to have this. You can see that it just merges up just like that. And then you can see this piece right here as well. I'm gonna have to verify its exact placement, but it looks very nice. So we also have the end pieces here as well. And I think those slide right in, like one goes in here, I think is what we're looking like. So yeah, this just looks so cool. And again, very excited to have this. And I think that just looks absolutely awesome. So you can see one going in there, and there it is. It looks absolutely amazing. So let me go ahead and set this up, get this a little bit more formal, and then we'll go ahead and take a look, everybody. And sorry about that, everybody. It was Customs Airports AU, so apologies for the wrong name, but they do an amazing job. Definitely check out their Instagram. But anyway, here's what happens. So the actual pieces insert just like that. So you can see the very nice fitting there, and you can see this piece goes in right here to really get the firm deal there, and then the end piece goes on, and that, everybody, is the back here on the east side of DFW's Concourse E. So this looks really nice, and let me just go ahead and put some jet bridges on, and here are their jet bridges. They look very nice and fixed, and they do have the raising and lowering bridges there. So you can see that we can go ahead and get those inserted, and they look really awesome. And again, huge credit goes out to you, Custom Airports AU. Thank you so much for making this a reality. It looks super nice, and this will be great for the regional jets there, all the CRJ 700s predominantly. So very excited to get to feature these, and it looks really nice. So yeah, this is awesome. It's certainly going to be really cool to get to feature all these. So it has several gates here. So let me just go ahead and put all these prongs on, and I'll go ahead and get some models, and we will take a look, everybody, at this awesome concourse. Alrighty, everybody, and as you can see, it is absolutely epic. I think there's so many really cool designs here with this 3D printing. And yeah, just once again, huge shout out to Custom Airports AU. This is super incredible, and no doubt, no shortage of just some incredible aspects to this, and I'm really excited to detail it all and really get into it. So I hope all of you are excited for this. Let's not waste any further time and just go ahead and take a look, everybody. So as you can see, this is DFW's Concourse E satellite, and there's some really neat aspects to this concourse compared to others. So we're looking at it from the south right now, the southwest view. And you can see that we have several gates here. This used to actually be mainline. This actually was Delta's big regional jet operation for quite a while until they dehubbed Dallas. And then they put main lines over here for a while for Delta. And then I know that like US Airways and United and several carriers used it for mainline operations for quite some time. And obviously now we have pivoted to American Airlines using it since they got some market share over at Concourse E when the US Airways merger happened. And that kind of got us to where we are today with the setup. So here it is. As you can tell, we have a really nice abundance of gates. I believe we have around 12, maybe more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 gates here to feature, and some really cool aspects to it. So I'll just kind of start by giving you some views and kind of talking through my general thoughts, and I'm going to point out a couple particular aspects that I really like about this particular 3D printing designing. So first and foremost, it's really cool to see these jet bridges. That's what initially catches my eye. Like the concourse is really nice, and I'm going to talk about some details through that. But I'm in love with these jet bridges, and I think they look absolutely phenomenal for quite a few different reasons. So I really like the height design. You can tell here that this is obviously intended to be for regional jets, which is really big. So for example, here's the SkyWest House livery CRJ, and you can see here that I was able to really get a good, hold there on the actual height. So really impressive, and it really works well for what we're doing. And I'll bring in some main lines here in a moment and show you kind of what that looks like. But yeah, you can just see that it was built with a purpose, and I love that. And these are just nice and simple. They're not too off the charts with detail and so on and so forth, but I just think that they're really nice. And there are some aspects that really distinguishes them from others. So I think that's really big, and you certainly got to respect that. So I love the jet bridges. I'll kind of show you some more demonstrations here in a moment, but just an initial glance, the jet bridges immediately catch my eye. That's not to say that the concourse isn't just as phenomenal though. The attention to detail is amazing. You can certainly see that it is one of those older building type like designs by the shaded color, and then you got the two edge pieces right there. This piece and how fluid it is doesn't even look like it's its own piece, so really great job there to make it so fluid and connective. So I love that. You got the air conditioning units up here on the top, so fantastic detail, the feature there as well. And yeah, just the end pieces here off the gates are really nice. Let me go ahead and show you what this one looks like, for example. Let me avoid knocking over the CRJ. But you can see just nice and simple end pieces, and they're really easy to insert. They're not to the point where they're going to just be falling out, but they're also not to the point where they're not going to move. So, it's really nice to have flexibility there and so forth. So you absolutely love to see that. Here's a couple different vantage points. Let me actually move over here so you can get some vantage points of the windows with a little bit better lighting in them. And as you can tell, it's certainly really nice to see the design. And just testing this camera. I do have a CR9 over here. I know it's mainly 700s, of course, over here, so that's what I'm representing, but I do have a 900 over here. Just to say that I didn't forget one because of how important of a plane it is. So looks really cool, and yeah, just getting a nice look at it from a couple of different vantage points. And then what I probably need to do is flip the table around, but we can probably get a good enough look. Yeah, you can see it pretty good still. So here's a good look here at the back profile, and you can definitely see there's the small piece right there, and this does get pretty congested when there's multiple flights going out. So yeah, I've been here only one time. I did during a long layover, and I just haven't got an opportunity to go back, and I've never had a flight through here, so on and so forth. I always try to pick main lines when I can, so that's probably part of it. But yeah, it is really just cool to see how it functions and so forth, what it looks like and so on and so forth. So pretty crazy. What a great looking concourse. Let me go ahead and bring in a mainline aircraft so you can see kind of what that looks like. So I'm going to use this gate right here since it's already elevated, and I'll kind of show you. So I know this isn't an American, so don't yell at me please if you don't mind. But anyway, here we have this 737 MAX, and you can see that it still looks, let me get some spacing because obviously this wasn't made with the intent of parking main lines with this gate arrangement. But as you can see, when I lower the gate, you can see here that it still fits nice and snug onto the, and you can make it as tall or as short as you want. I got it a little much there, so I'm gonna get another round in this here and see if I can get a better height on it, because you don't want to get it too much. But yeah, right there, where you're gonna have a nice distance between the, put the 5X to work, right? Whoa, sorry about the macro mode. A good height balance there between mainline and regional, so it's just super awesome. I do have a heavy over here. I'll go ahead and bring in a heavy. I think this isn't quite a heavy bridge, so don't expect it to be too crazy, but I just do want to see what it looks like for the sake of it, since these jet bridges are really impressive. So let me go ahead and get us out of macro mode, and let me elevate this bridge here for us, and let's see what a heavy looks like here at the gate. And they do extend. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. They do extend. They start by being a little tough, but once you work them in, which this is a good design so that they stay in place. You can see here, there we go. Eventually, if I had easier leverage here, if I had my tripod over here, it'd be easier to show you all what we're doing. But if you can see, there we go. That it eventually starts, and then that just happens. But there you go, as you can tell, just right off the 3D printer, fresh off the press. So that's a part of it. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you all how we're doing here. So as you can tell, these are not made for heavies, but when you do adjust it, it does end up working out pretty well. And these, the door width is pretty small, so, but it still works out pretty good. So there we go. You can see there what it looks like, and it definitely looks nice and definitely does the job for the particular environment. But of course, you would mainly want to stick to the regional jet offerings there for this Concourse. So yeah, this is really cool to have. I'm certainly very happy with how it turned out. I love these bridges and definitely will be using the bridges along with Concourse E at my DFW setup. When I'm able to get that back on the road, I'm really excited about it. And obviously I'm a couple short on regionals right now, but I might park some 175s and so forth over here just to give some additional relief to my main main Concourse B setup. So that could help out and be pretty tremendous. But yeah, I'm certainly really happy with how this turned out. It's certainly really cool. I'm definitely excited to continue to enhance the landscape. Excuse me, everybody, I'm so sorry. And continue to grow, and certainly very happy with how this turned out. It is really cool. And definitely excited to see what's to come, and I hope all of you are as well. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below. Very happy to have it, and overall, it's looking really sharp. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love you do. My name's CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.